everybody, and we're back. So, a lot of things happened this weekend. Phillip Rivers did not die. He actually almost pulled off a victory. There were a couple of major upsets, and what else? Let me think. Oh yeah, the Chargers have officially eliminated the Chiefs from playoff contention. So, let's get into it. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
Okay, so in case nobody heard me, the Chargers have eliminated the Chiefs from contention. In case those in the back didn't hear me, the Chargers have eliminated the Chiefs from playoff contention. And you know, just for my own satisfaction, the Chargers have eliminated the Chiefs from playoff contention with 3 games left to go in the season. Eric, what the hell's going on?
This is a funeral at the same time as I have sacrificed my points in the Pick'ems League in order to bring down the evil empire.
Yep, every single week, Eric just kept picking the Chiefs, and every single time Eric picked them, they lost. So thank you. You're a hero. You're the Spider-Man meme right now. Like, careful, he's a hero. So we appreciate it. We appreciate it. By the way, I had a phenomenal week in the Picks League. Guess who's officially
horrendous? Mine.
I was 13 out of 3 this week. This is the best week I've ever had. I'm officially in 3rd place. I beat your ass. You're all the way down. And let me see. Number 5. I'm 4 games above you, bitch. 4. And I'm only 3 games behind the points leader. So I got a shot. I'm back in it. I am back in the game. So please keep picking the Chiefs. Seriously. Let's see.
I'm gonna keep doing that.
Let's see what the chat says. Mob Nasty, much love, Dario. Much love to you, Mob Nasty. Thanks for joining us. Chucky D. Broncos, the true kings of the West. The Chiefs dynasty is dead. Amen, brother. And it feels so nice that we put the first nail in the coffin starting the season, and we put the final nail in the coffin, because things could not have gone worse for the Chiefs this weekend. And by the way, Patrick Mahomes, hopefully you have a speedy recovery. Hopefully you come back to be as good as you've always been, and we can keep beating your ass. So let's get into it. I could talk about that game all day. I could talk shit all day, but you know, there's other stuff that we can cover right now. So just what's up?
It was actually kind of insane because for the Chiefs to be eliminated, 4 things needed to happen. I think the Bills needed to win. Chargers needed to beat them.
Yep.
And I think the Jaguars had to lose to the Jets.
No. I believe it was the Texans have to win, and maybe the Jaguars have to win. I don't know. But the point is, they all happen.
Jaguars have to win. They all happen. Yeah.
Yep. So let's get started here. We're not going to do the coach hot seat right now. We'll just go straight to the game. So week 15 started off with a shocker. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers losing to the Atlanta Falcons in one of the most horrible ways I've seen a game be lost in December. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were leading by 2 scores, and I believe in the final corner, and they found a way to lose. The Falcons had 19 penalties. Like every single drive, the field was like 200 yards for them, and they still found a way to fuck that up. So naturally, now everybody wants to fire Todd Bowles. Like I've been saying for a few years, he's not a great head coach. So I'm adding him to the hot seat, but we're not going to go through that right now. Just in case anybody was wondering. The Bucs, fortunately for them, they got their weapons back. You know, Mike Evans was out there. Chris was out there.
He did the thing.
I know. Take a drink. Ibuka was out there. Bucky Irving was up there. So it's not for lack of weapons. The issue is now that their defense sucks. Now they had a lot of injuries and stuff, but Jesus Christ, man, losing to the Falcons. The only redeeming thing, the only thing that the Bucs have is that they're lucky that they're playing in the NFC South, and nobody wants to win that division apparently. It's the only thing that they have in their favor. But Jesus Christ, that was beyond disappointing. I don't know, how do you feel about it?
I feel pretty happy because, I mean, the Falcons winning does nothing for them except fuck them over in their draft pick. So
yeah, I mean, they might.
And
what?
And the Bucks winning or the Bucks losing somehow put them at the top of their division now.
It's a weird division, man. It's just a crappy division. Next, we have the Cleveland Browns getting shellacked by the Chicago Bears 3-31. There was nothing really relevant about this game. Except, Myles Garrett getting closer and closer to the sacks record. So good for him. I believe he's currently one away from tying. So good for him. The Bears, they're looking better, man. And they also had a really good week because the Packers lost, the Lions lost. So they went from last place in the playoff standings to second place. So that division is just going to be yo-yoing between the freaking Bears and the Packers for a little bit. Or I guess, no, they're going to be playing each other. We'll see what happens. Next, we have...
One thing I will say, this game kind of confirmed that the fan voting for the Pro Bowl is fucking bullshit and we shouldn't do it because Shedeur Sanders was number 9 on the fan voting. Justin Herbert was not in the top 10.
Listen, fans are idiots, okay? And they only watch their teams. So that's the one disadvantage that the Chargers have. They don't have as many fans as other teams. So it makes sense. And also, Cleveland people are stupid, I guess. I don't know.
They live in Cleveland, of course.
Of course. I'm kidding. You're probably very nice people. But Jesus, Shedeur, really? Seriously? He lost to Cam Ward. But anyway, whatever. Next, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. The probably biggest shocker of the weekends in terms of, quality of opponents. Like the Bengals, the Ravens made the Bengals drop a goose egg, 24-0. And if you remember, they kicked their ass a few weeks ago. So this was beyond shocking, man. This was weird. This was very, very weird. Joe Burrow has made some really odd comments in the media. I don't understand. Let's see. Sandman says Madison Beer voted for Shedeur. Hey. You know what? Maybe just so that Herbie does not go to the Pro Bowl and injure his hand, so he can rest. So he can rest his throwing hand. That's she's taking care of our boy. Anyway, things are not good in Cincinnati, and the Ravens. I don't know what the fuck they are. I don't know what the AFC North is. What's up? What are you gonna say?
Do you think Joe is gonna go to the Vikings? Is that what we're thinking?
I have no idea. Joe's been making some really bizarre comments, like he's not having fun. It sounds kind of like he's depressed or whatever, which makes sense. You play in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
They don't have. Listen, Cincinnati built a team in a way that was not, let's say, conducive to victory. You don't have a defense, and you don't have an O-line. You have weapons.
Until last couple of years, they didn't have an indoor practice facility.
Exactly. So let's just say they don't really invest in the team. They don't really care about winning. At least it doesn't look like they care about winning. So if I'm Joe Burrow, I'd be stressed too, and I'd want to get out of there. I mean, it sucks that you made your friends sign there. Like you made sure they had Chase and Higgins, and now you want to bail. But yeah.
They got paid.
I mean, it's fair. I think it's fair to be unhappy. Maybe
I've heard rumblings he might be interested in the Raiders, and I'm like, no.
Why would he want to go to the Raiders? Like, listen, I get leaving
Wants
Cincinnati.
to start his villain arc?
Maybe. Like, if I'm Joe Burrow, there's one place where I immediately want to go, and that's the team that has a playoff caliber roster, but it's missing a quarterback, aka the Colts. So to me, that's like number one destination I'd be interested in. Second, it would be probably somewhere in the NFC South.
Falcons?
Fuck the Falcons. But no, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll trade Penix. But no, somewhere in the NFC South.
Potentially Miami.
Do you really want to deal with the Bills and the Patriots?
I think freaking Burrow is a guy who wants to smoke.
Listen, I don't know. Well, because you'd be. Let's just say it depends on what head coach Miami gets. But anyway, I see Sandman saying Pro Bowl is kind of weird. The best players always drop out because they're playing in the playoffs. Yes, I can see Burrow pulling an Andrew Luck and retire early. It's possible. There's been interesting comparisons between their careers, injuries, and stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, what, dude's made over $100 million at this point. If he wants to retire, he can. And, I mean, I wouldn't blame him. Like, you made your money. The recovery sucks. You did your best to try to get back. The gods somehow made it possible for your team to still be in contention for your division, and you just keep sucking. It sucks. Anyway, but
I think you try another team before retiring, at least.
Maybe. I don't think the Bengals will let him go, though. And with that defeat, the Bengals are officially eliminated from playoff contention. So better luck next year. Next, the most beautiful, funnest game of the entire season. The Chargers taking down the Kansas City Chiefs 16-13. Now it's not all sunshine and bagels, you know?
Low key, I kind of hated this fucking game.
We'll talk about it. So first off, officially, the Chiefs are eliminated from playoff contention with this defeat. So thanks for participating. You've sucked for a while. It's about time, you reflected it. This is what happens when the refs no longer help you. Yep. Unfortunately for the Chiefs, and this is the not so cool part about the NFL, Patrick Mahomes injured his ACL in the final quarter of the game. So ACLs usually take about a year. So this could not only screw them over. Well, first off, this year's done, but it could spill over into next year. And the Chiefs have a lot of things to consider. Like, for example, Travis Kelce, he's old. Does he want to come back? And also, he's kind of sucked this season. So they've lost several games.
As fuck.
Yeah, they've lost several games because of him. So does he want to come back? I doubt it. Chris Jones, he didn't know that they were eliminated from the playoffs until he was in front of the media. That's how he found out.
But his job is not to do math.
His job is to try to kill people. So yeah, Chris Jones found out a very nasty way. So he's also old. Who knows if he wants to come back? And also, like you said, expensive. So they have an aging roster. I don't think you could even mention a rookie that did anything for the Chiefs this season. So they don't have the best weapons. Like the teams
after the last couple games, I would, if I'm Rashee Rice, I'm just out of the game.
Yeah, dude.
Every game I'm getting fucking rocked.
Well, teams have figured out how to stop the Chiefs wide receivers, and that's hit them as fucking hard as you can. Because if you hit them really hard in the first and second quarter, they'll start dropping balls. Why? Because it sucks to get hit by bigger dudes. And so...
And the most hilarious part is that both gigantic hits that he's taken in a week's time, both were completely legal.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happens. That's good coaching. Good technique. But yeah, it's let's just say I think this is the end of the dynasty. I think they're over. Now, who knows if the Andy Reid still wants to keep coaching. He's also no spring chicken. Also, he's not, the healthiest fellow. So who knows what the hell's going to happen?
The guy who eats all the spring chickens.
Exactly. So it's them nuggies. So things are not looking great for Kansas City, is all I'm saying. At least right now, they may shut me the fuck up next season. They might have, another 5 Super Bowl run. I doubt it. The competition in the AFC West finally got their heads out of their asses. And, you just got swept by a rival. Things are not looking good. And I don't see them getting better anytime soon. They need to develop a lot of players. They need to get a lot younger in there very quickly. And also, I don't think that the rules favor them as much anymore. Or at least other teams picked it up. The thing that really annoyed me about the Chiefs is that they didn't feel organic. They felt like, well, the rules have been modified to really, really help offenses. And that really helped the Andy Reid style. So that's why they did very well, because the rules were designed to help offenses. And, for some reason, every single call always went their way. Well, or at least the ones that mattered. So I don't think that's the way of the NFL anymore. But who knows?
So I don't think Mahomes is done at all. You know,
I
like
don't know. I don't think
I
Mahomes is
think he's
done.
gonna come back. He's probably gonna come back angry.
I was talking
Like
about the
first
Chiefs.
season. Oh, right. But what I'm saying is, there's a lot of people doing comparisons to Mahomes and Brady's career right now, where it's like, so, you know, Brady won 3 rings, then he lost on his 4th Super Bowl, and got a torn ACL, so he was out of the playoffs. And then after, Brady's career afterwards. But no, I'm gonna go ahead and say no. The Chiefs are cooked. They're done.
Yep.
It's over. And if you want to refer to this video in 10 years, be my guest.
Sure.
And
We'll look like
but
idiots. We do that all the time. We don't care.
I don't mind that at all. I think Mahomes is gonna be fine. They're probably still gonna always be a playoff contender. Probably even make the Super Bowl a few times. But I don't know. This squad, this era, like Kelsey ain't getting his hands back. You know what I'm saying?
Bricks. He's a brick
So-
man. He's a bricklayer.
I think it might be GG for the old dynasty.
Good.
It would suck if all of a sudden we go back to a Patriots dynasty, but it looks like it's may not be the case.
Hey man, if it's organic, I don't care. The problem with the Chiefs one is that it felt inorganic. The Brady comparison is stupid because Brady got injured on the first game of that season, and that's why the Patriots didn't make the playoffs. The Chiefs did not make the playoffs here way before Patrick Mahomes got injured. So it's not like they missed the playoffs because of it.
People like their parallels,
People are
And
stupid.
also, I have already seen some people say like, well, if Mahomes didn't get injured, they were in field goal range. So, Gardner doesn't throw that interception and then they tie the game and maybe they win. And it's like, yeah, maybe. But that didn't happen though.
No.
Mahomes got injured. And it wasn't even like a dirty play by the Chargers. You can't even say, you only won by playing dirty. That Tony Jefferson hit was fucking clean. Fuck you, refs.
No.
Hard to say.
It was a helmet to helmet, but it wasn't ejection worthy. That was dumb.
It wasn't intentional,
Well,
obviously.
that's my point. It wasn't
like the receiver's the one who lowered his head.
exactly. So you want to say it hit he hit him in the head? Yes. What was he targeting it? I don't think so. Like that, no, not an ejection. Get the penalty, not the ejection. Let me see. Chucky D. That's what happens when they get greedy. Mahomes and Travis should have taken pay cuts and have a good old line. But we taken the fruits of their greed. Yes, I mean the Bears are pretty happy that they didn't pay their own line. I'm pretty sure they're happy with I believe it's Thune over there. Is that who they got? Maybe. I don't know. But they took one of the guards. Sandman. So we kind of heard what went wrong with KC. What was going on with the Chargers? They scored only 16 points. All right. So this is
You
where
don't have an offensive line.
So this is where I'm going that it wasn't all sunshine and bagels, right? So first off, the defense looked phenomenal, which is honestly was my bigger concern earlier on in the season when they could not stop the run to save their lives. Like the Jaguars ran down their throats. The freaking who else did it? Oh, I mean the Colts ran it down their throats. Like it looked bad. So the defense starting to play elite. That's pretty good. This is kind of what you need in the playoffs. You need defense that's very stingy, holding teams down to under 20 points. On the other side of the field, let's talk about the offense. So they won. I'm happy that they won. That's the most important thing. They played in a way that was conducive to winning, but winning ugly. A lot of people don't like that style of football. It's basically a rock fight. I kind of tend to enjoy it. To me, dude, as long as you get points, I don't care. Win. So move the ball.
You got the best kicker in the league. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Field goal.
So move the ball, drain the clock, score, get points. Doesn't matter if it's 3, do it. The problem here is that it looked like they left a lot, and I mean a lot of opportunities on the field. And the offense does stupid things that don't make any sense. So there was a play, it was a 3rd and 11, and I believe all the wide receivers, I don't know if you know this, but 3rd and longs, is usually when the defense tries to kill you. You know, they send everybody at you. And so,
Because it's going to be a throw.
yeah, most likely. So they want to kill the quarterback. Your O-line sucks, right? We agree. Okay, the Chargers O-line sucks. And so what the Chargers did on a 3rd and 11 is they send all their wide receivers on like let's say a 20-yard play. All of them. What happens when all your receivers are running for 20 yards and then turning around? What tends to happen there? It takes a bit of time. You know, you need a little bit of time to run 20 yards and turn around. So usually, you know, a smart person would give you a short option. You know, you keep one of those short, or you have the running back there as an outlet, or so you give the quarterback an option to dump it away so he doesn't get fucking murdered. They didn't do that. I don't know why Greg Roman was like, nah, I don't like that. That's stupid. And Herbert, trying to hold on as long as he couldn't hold on any longer, tries to throw the ball. I believe he got hit on the play, and that led to an interception. So it's one of those things that you're like, what's my rule? What's my rule for the NFL? I do not
You don't know
shit about fuck. But if I know better than you do, you got a fucking problem. All right? I have an issue with. So it's weird because the offensive, yes, you specifically. So it's weird because I've seen Greg Roman call phenomenal games. Like the first game against the Chiefs was phenomenal. The game against the freaking Vikings.
Yeah, we had Joe Alt.
Yeah, the game against the Vikings was beautiful. The game against the Steelers was phenomenal. So he's done good stuff. Good shit, some people might even say. And then I've seen him do like some of the most stupid, most retarded stuff I've ever seen. Like last week against the Eagles. I do not know what the fuck's going on because we see them do stuff that works. We've seen the short, quick game work. And we've seen screens work. He doesn't do them. Why? I do not know. I think maybe like he has his style and he wants to stay to it, but that's leading to your quarterback getting killed. Now, it's possible that Herbert's the one that's, you know, like, nah, we're bailing out of that play. We're doing something else. Maybe. And in that case, well, you're taking the hits because you're an idiot. Again, same rule applies to Greg Roman as it does to Justin Herbert. If I know better than you do, you got a problem. So I don't know what's happening.
At least we got a pretty damn good run game right now that's sort of helping bail us out.
The only thing that I'm hoping for here is that they're trying to hide the playbook. Maybe. Like they feel like, all right, we're close enough to the playoffs. We can hide the playbook a little. If we need to, we can let things loose. They also other dumbass decisions. You remember the throwback from Keenan Allen to Myron Hampton? I don't understand.
Was that a design play? And
yes.
They just like, all right, we're going for it?
Yep. Jim Harbaugh was like, no, we were going to continue with that play. So fortunately, when they asked him that question, it didn't look like he was happy about it. So he wasn't going to say Greg Roman's an idiot, but I'm hoping he tells Greg Roman he's an idiot when they're going through every single play. And he's like, what the fuck were you thinking there? What's your logic? Explain it to me. Why would you tell your wide receiver once they were in field goal range to throw the ball 10 yards back? It makes no fucking sense. But, you know. Also,
the only thing I can think of is maybe he thought, you know, Hampton was going to have a free lane to run.
Maybe.
He goes all the way to the other side.
But again, you were already in field goal. This is a rock fight. You just got another rock. You take it and you throw it at the other guy, right? Also, when they were when they were like in the goal line, I do not understand why they wouldn't put Trey Lance in there and just, you know, try to quarterback sneak 3 times. I mean, the Eagles fucking do it. And the Chargers are really good at the QB sneak. Really, sometimes they got 2 yards out of it. So get Trey Lance in there. He's got 2 good hands. Let him do it a couple times. You know, let's see what the first time you missed with O'Marion, you got another 2. Why the fuck not? So that stuff like that annoys me. I'm hoping that he gets his head out of his ass. I'm hoping that the Chargers, the players, everybody in the staff saw the Colts game, and they saw how the Colts protected Phillip Rivers from the best fucking defense in the league, the best front seven in the league. And they did
Top
it
three
by,
at least.
yep, they did it by Phillip not holding the ball for more than 2 seconds. Maybe they can, I just think Greg Roman doesn't know how to use wide receivers, because they crash into each other all the time. They're in the same area. It doesn't make any sense. So it's, if I hadn't seen the first game, with Joe Alt in there and how well it flowed and how good it looked, it's like, I'd be like, dude, fire the guy. However, they did go all the way down to freaking tackles 7 and 8, and the team is still, what, 10 and 4? So,
And the last 2 weeks, we beat the 2 Super Bowl teams.
Back to back. It wasn't pretty, but it was efficient.
Both with a game-winning interception.
Yep. So, benefit of the doubt. It's tough. It depends on how they perform in the playoffs, honestly. If they lose because of the offense being stupid against an inferior opponent, then I'm like, okay, fire that guy. Especially because Brian Callahan is out there. Maybe the Mike McDonald will be out there. So it's Mike McDaniels. I'm sorry. Mike McDaniels might be out there. So you're likely going to lose Jesse Mentor this offseason. It sucks, but I'm pretty sure they're going to take away your defensive coordinator. So you need somebody who's going to make up for all that stuff in the offense. And I want to give Giro the benefit of the doubt that, you lost your 2 best tackles, the cornerstones of that offensive line, but Jesus Christ, sometimes it's really hard to watch. Like, they really are freaking killing Herbert out there. But
also, apparently that one college O-line coach or something that we may have wanted to get, apparently he got arrested.
Yeah. You mean the Michigan guy?
Yeah.
I don't know. They weren't gonna get him. I mean, the dude had like a $30 million contract with Michigan. And so, I mean, the dude's really stupid for fucking that job up. But, and that it's unfortunate because if you're Michigan and you're looking for your next head coach, because this one just went down, in flames and controversy, all that stuff, who do you bring back? Jesse Mentor seems like a pretty good option, the guy who was the defensive coordinator when you won your national title. It seems like a pretty good option there. So it sucks. If we lose Jesse Mentor, it's probably because of that. But listen, they won. They did enough to win. To me, it's all that matters, really, especially in December, especially against, the Chiefs. Everybody was betting on the Chiefs. And especially
it's kind of annoying because most of the conversation right now is, oh, well, it sucks that Patrick Mahomes is out and, he got his torn ACL. You never want to see a guy go down like that. So it kind of takes the wind out the sails, of like, you kind of want to rub it into the Chiefs. But, I'm just happy we're going to have a postseason. Who was the guy who, I think it was Rich Eisen, who was saying like, football is way better with the Chiefs in it. And, the playoffs are way more excited with the Chiefs in it. And everybody wants to see the Chiefs in the playoffs. Is like, bro.
I believe I saw that clip.
Who you been talking to?
No,
Nick Wright?
No. I believe I saw that clip, and what he was saying is you're gonna miss him when they're not there. And I will give him this. I believe he was speaking from a media point of view, not as a fan point of view. As fans, it's like, fuck those guys. They've always sucked. It's always been the refs. It'll get rid of a bunch of controversies. And now it's fun because it's anybody's game, right? In the AFC. We'll finally be able to see who can step up.
From a media point, Chris Collinsworth, I still hear him crying all the way over here.
Oh, of course. No, but from the media standpoint, they had so much fun with the storylines, and it's easy topics for them. It's like, oh, well, will they make the three-peat? Will they do this? Will they blah, blah, blah? Everybody hates them, or there's this controversy. So it gave them a lot of free topics, and they didn't have to pay as much attention to other teams that they normally wouldn't. And now they have to do their fucking jobs and actually watch other teams play and find other interesting. There's a lot of very interesting storylines this season. A lot of them. But what?
I guess I can understand that point because, like, for example, when we're planning on, when we're a little behind the curtain,
Mhm.
when we're planning on what are we going to talk about for the podcast, was going to be the title of the episode. There's some weeks where it's like, okay, this is an automatic, like this is what it is, like easy. And sometimes we're like, I don't know, there's not like a lot of specific storylines. Like maybe it's like I don't know. That's when we start getting abstract, and it's like who are actually good, or like which head coaches are in the hot seat. You got to start pulling some stuff out, which involves doing actual work. So the media hates doing that.
Oh, of course. Who doesn't? Well, by the way, did you see the image for this week?
I have not.
I'll put it up here on the screen. There you go.
Let me see. Oh, hang on. Yeah.
Week 15 recap.
Yeah.
The dynasty's over, and then Philip Rivers going like, yeah. Because we have to include Philip in there. It's his week. But let's see. Dave Martinez says, "Go Chargers! Brokers did have the division. Would not want to face anyone in the wild card. Let's face the Steelers first round." All right. So glad you brought that up. Remember a few weeks ago?
I just don't want to face the Jaguars.
You remember a few weeks ago when I was very down on the team, and I was like, you know what? I'm just giving it to the Broncos. Whatever. They can take it as long as they take out the Chiefs. And lo and behold, it turns out it was our team that took out the Chiefs. So now I'm not happy with letting the Broncos have the division anymore. Actually, it doesn't matter. Honestly, the best, if we're being objective here, like completely objective, the best thing that could happen is for the Chargers to reach the final game of the season and they have nothing to play for. The Broncos, they've already locked up the division win. They maybe have to play for the 1 seed or something, but doesn't matter. Chargers have nothing to play. Like even if they win, they can't take the division. So the best thing that could happen is like, hey, you know what? Maybe rest your quarterback with a broken hand. Maybe rest your O-line. Maybe rest some dudes. Give some practice to other guys. So the best thing that could happen is, all right, Broncos stay on pace, and the Chargers get a break. You guys get a break. All right, that's probably the best case scenario.
If they want the first round, the Patriots have a fairly easy schedule going forward. The only tough one is the Ravens, maybe, who have been like the most schizo team this season.
Desperate Ravens.
And then they have the Jets and the Dolphins. So, dude, they should be fine there.
The Dolphins and the Jets are divisional games. You can never really count them out. I mean, the Dolphins did beat the Bills.
But the Broncos have the Jaguars next week,
which is tough.
The freaking Trevor Lawrence is playing like a man possessed right now.
I know.
So
I don't know.
I don't feel too bad about the fact we got our ass kicked, about a month ago. And then they got the Chiefs, who should be much easier now without Mahomes, granted. And they got the Chargers at the end. So,
I mean,
and if we're playing for division,
like I said, the Broncos are 2 games up. If the Broncos win their next 2 games, one's very likely, which is Kansas City, and the Jaguars is a coin toss. But they're
what
at
happens
home.
if we tie them?
We won't tie the Broncos unless they lose. Unless they lose at least 1 game. So, but
yeah, they can lose the Jaguars.
Oh yeah. If we tie them, then I believe the Chargers can still come out on top.
They wouldn't have swept the division. That right there is 6 conference games.
Yeah, I think they would have a better conference record. Let me see. Let me just check that real quick. Because let's see, the Broncos lost to the Colts, to the Chargers. They would lose to the Jaguars in that scenario, and to the Chargers again. So the Chargers would have a direct tiebreaker. Yeah. So that would be a tie. So tie goes to the Chargers. So again, probably best case scenario is just Broncos sweep their last games and the Chargers get to rest their starters on the last week. Or they lose, or the Broncos lose everything and the Chargers are on top and they get the bye week and they end up with the first overall seed, which I doubt. Which it's possible.
Oh, I forgot that could be a possibility.
Yeah. So one's more likely, one's way cooler. But one's more likely.
That'd be like way cool.
and listen, Chargers can win their games. They got the Cowboys, which is winnable, and then they got the Texans, who
especially right now since the Cowboys got nothing to play for, so we're gonna lose.
Exactly, and then Texans at home. So we'll see. The point is, Greg Roman needs to get his head out of his ass. Or, maybe give me a call, ask me about some plays, and I'll tell you if they're stupid or not. Like, I'll ask you basic questions like, hey, so if they get to him before the wide receivers make it to the 20 yards, what's he supposed to do? Like, is he just supposed to take the sack? Is he supposed to Houdini himself out of that situation? He has a broken hand, right? Like maybe this route make it a little shorter, something like that. I don't know. We'll talk,
Brother, I say this with all the love and respect in the world. I don't even want you calling their DoorDash. What the fuck are you talking about?
Listen. Listen. If Greg Roman calls me and I'm like, that's stupid, he's like, oh man, that's really stupid. Like that's extra stupid. So if it's stupid to me, that's a good sign that you shouldn't do it. But anyway, let's move on because we've already taken up a lot of time here and we got a lot of games to go.
We had to revel in the fall of the Chiefs, so we've reveled. Now let us move forward.
Yes. Next, the biggest comeback of the weekend, the freaking Buffalo Bills taking out the former number 1 seed. I don't know, they're still leading their division, New England Patriots. Holy crap. The Patriots were up by 21 at home, and the Bills found a way to whoop their asses. Why? Because they probably have the best quarterback in the league. Maybe the best player in the league. Freaking Josh Allen.
Right now, to me, it's either Josh Allen or Matt Stafford for MVP. I don't even know who's a close third.
For MVP?
I mean, I guess you could argue Drake May, but, well...
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's... Personally... I don't like that Christian McCaffrey's being overlooked. Because he is the reason why the 49ers have wins in their record. I mean, everybody was injured except him. Like, all the wide receivers, the tight ends, all the defense. And they kept winning because
there's a good argument to give Shanahan Coach of the Year, for sure.
Sure, but again, Shanahan's plan was we'll just give the ball to Christian McCaffrey either on the air or on the ground. And
that's good enough.
That's a good strategy, yes. So if we're talking value, that's a lot of value from one guy. I also kind of want to give it to Justin Herbert, A, because I'm a homer, and B, because the man is doing historical type stuff with the worst O-line in history. So
when you look at the stats of what other quarterbacks do when they have such a bad O-line,
they lose.
And what Herbert hasn't been able to do, it's ridiculous.
Oh, no, it's insane. By the way, a little fun factor before I forget. So we give a little praise to our boy here. Justin Herbert officially passed Patrick Mahomes for the most passing yards in the first 6 seasons of his career. He is currently 601 yards shy of taking the most of all time from Peyton Manning. So not only did you take him out of the playoffs, you passed him in his record. Well, second place. So there you go. That's also fun.
His girl is way hotter.
Yes. Let me see. Sandman, out of curiosity, since you were talking about Herbert's injury and rest, who's in more trouble? Broncos if they lose next to injury, or Chargers if they lose Herbert? The Chargers if they lose Herbert. For the reasons that
they're done.
we just said. Yeah. I like Trey Lance fine. There's no way that he can operate behind that O-line on the same level. On the other hand, Bo Nix has the best O-line in the NFL, probably. Maybe Broncos probably have the best O-line and the best D-line. So that's why they've been so successful.
Right now, and this kind of sucks to say, but they kind of reminded me of what was it, 2015 when they won with Manning? Even though it was like Manning's worst year ever.
Against the Panthers?
Yeah, they got the freaking O-line, they got the defense cooking motherfuckers.
A quarterback that's good enough.
Bo Nix is good enough. He's a Joe Flacco. He's a Brock Purdy, you know?
I think he's slightly better.
Good enough.
Fair enough. We'll talk about him when we do. But anyway, yeah, the Bills apparently they're keeping it interesting in the East, and they look like a very scary team.
Let's put it this way.
What's up?
Okay, Bo Nix goes down. You can replace him with anybody else in the league. I would say at least like half of the quarterbacks you could replace him with. If Justin Herbert goes down, you could put Josh Allen with that O-line. I don't think he would do it as well.
I agree. I definitely agree. Let me see. Chucky D says 2015 no-fly zone defense. That's the one. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's tough because Josh Allen is really good, but I don't know. Well, we'll see. Next, we have the Raiders getting the ass beat by the Philadelphia Eagles, 0-31. Really nothing to mention about this game other than the Raiders suck. Next, we have the Jets getting their asses beat by the freaking Jacksonville Jaguars, 20-48. We had this kid play for the first time, but I don't remember his name, so it really doesn't matter. What's up?
Hello, that guy's probably Trevor Lawrence. That man was possessed this game. God damn it!
Yep.
I think he was playing defense too.
He had like 5 touchdowns. The Jaguars are looking really good. I mean, against the Jets. We'll see how they look against the Broncos, but yeah, they're on a hot streak. We'll see if that continues. I don't know if it's good or bad.
The Broncos.
I don't know if it's
be interesting.
I don't know if it's good or bad for us, to be honest. It's one of those things where it's like, is it better for one team to win or the other?
You mean in terms of the Jaguars or the Broncos?
Jaguars, Broncos. I'm not exactly sure. If both could lose, a tie would be great, now that I think about it. Actually, no, a tie would be bad. All right, whatever. Doesn't matter. Next. Arizona Cardinals getting their asses beat by the freaking Houston Texans. Now, the Texans look scary, man. That defense just hurts people. And they dropped 17 points before the game even started. So, I don't like that team. I want that team. I was happy when it looked like they were going to be out for the season, but they freaking turned around, man.
Their offense is cooking again, too. I don't know.
Against the Cardinals.
The last few weeks.
Against the Cardinals. Next, we have the Green Bay Packers. Oof. Not only losing a heartbreaker to the Denver Broncos, but losing star edge rusher Micah Parsons with a ACL so for at least another year, probably. This sucks. Also, a bunch of other players got injured. Christian Watson got injured. I don't remember who else, but they had a lot of injuries in this game. A lot.
Christian Watson's day-to-day, but Parsons is out, and he is by far their best defensive player.
Yeah. So they're going to have to change their defense completely. The Broncos, on the other hand, I'm not going to say for the first time, but I believe since they beat the Chiefs, it's the first time that I'm like, okay, damn, that team could win it all. Because they have it. They have the O-line, they have the D-line, and when Bo Nix plays like that, they scary. They dangerous. Now, RJ Harvey got injured, but I believe he came back in the game, so you are lucky there. Chucky D is asking, what's Denver's record again? You don't know?
I think it's 12-2.
I believe so. Yes, 12-2, because they did lose to the Colts and the Chargers, but since then they haven't lost. So good for them, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So what were we talking about? Oh yeah. So
yeah, the Broncos look pretty damn legit.
Yeah, against a team that we both agree was a legit contender. So it's they're looking scary. The Packers, on the other hand, no, it's back to being a coin flip. I don't even know if they're going to take the division. Like the real winners yesterday were the Bears, because their window is wide ass open. So and the next game they have against them is at home. So the Bears might take the NFC North. They might. It's a possibility.
We got here from Sandman that as a Bears fan, he hates seeing Micah get hurt, but they do play them next week, and kind of levels the playing field between us and the rest of the season. Yeah, Bears fans got to be pretty happy now.
Chucky D says, sorry, couldn't hear that. Say it again. Patrick Surtain is a stud. What part? The 12-2?
Yeah, Chuck, you're 12-2. Congrats. Who are those two, though?
Well, listen.
Who's one of those two? There's two. In 12 and 2, there's the Colts. Who was the other team? Who was the other team, Chuck?
Say it. Say it slowly. Say it. Now, now there's they're heating up at the right time. They're heating up. They're healthy. Well, I mean, they did lose J.K. Dobbins because poor freaking J.K. man, poor freaking J.K. But they're heating up the right time, and they're just knocking fools out, man. It's a scary team, especially in Mile High. So it's definitely a place where we do not want to play. But it's not like we haven't beaten them there before. Next, we have the Detroit Lions losing a heartbreaker.
Excellent picture.
Thank you. Losing a heartbreaker to the Rams. And before we get to that picture, injury report, one Devontae Adams suffered a hamstring injury. He is apparently day-to-day, but I doubt he'll be ready to play on Thursday against the Seahawks, you know? So, unfortunate. Sucks for the Rams. They still have Puka Nacua, so they should be mostly fine. Now, this picture. So, the game was, again, controversial. You know, the refs against the Lions. I have no idea how the catch on screen right now was a touchdown. Like, it barely...
Aren't all touchdown plays reviewable?
They did review it, and they said it was a touchdown. Now, it's the logic that, you know, I'm trying to do mental gymnastics here. The logic is that he caught the ball, he started kind of fumbling it, his knee hit the ground, and then he got possession afterwards, like right before the end zone. So I did not know that was a thing. To me, it barely looked like a catch. It's just...
Okay, so it's like, let's say I'm on the 1 yard line, and I'm on my knees. And I get the ball like to my chest, but I start like fumbling it about, you know. So I don't have possession, right?
Yeah.
And then before your
knee hits the ground.
I'm on my knees though, right?
No. Like,
would it matter?
Right before? No, because if your knee hits the ground, then it's done. So if you're fumbling,
no, but I don't have possession yet. I'm fumbling the ball, like, you know, like it sort of hits my chest, but it's sort of fumbling in the air. I don't have possession.
As long as you don't have clear possession when your knee's hitting the ground.
So if the ball fumbles all the way into the end zone, but I catch it there, that's where it's down?
I guess, yeah. It's weird.
We have to play this game every week.
What is a catch?
What is a catch?
Yeah. And does all calls always have to screw the Lions? Now, again, they don't have a defense. Their defense is non-existent, so they were probably going to lose anyway. It's just, why does it always have to happen against the Lions, man? Let me see. Sandman, I don't know, Chucky D. I don't know. Sandman saying Patrick Surtain's a stud. Chucky D, 11 winning games in a row. Yes. You have not lost a game since you lost against the Chargers. There you go. Should be proud.
And that might be true again.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully not. I think the Jaguars have a good chance.
Anyway, next. The Carolina Panthers dropping one against the freaking Saints. Like I predicted. I told you. I told you.
I fucking love the Saints.
Cat teams, you can't trust them. Bengals drop a goose egg. The Carolina Panthers lose to the Saints. The Lions lost as well in that really bizarre call. So it's like you can't trust the cat teams. None of them make any sense. So anyway.
I love the Saints, man. They're such a silly team.
Yeah, the rookie QB looked good. Apparently, Shuck has more wins than every other rookie QB this season, like more than Shador, more than Cam Ward, more than everybody. So, you know, good for him. And speaking of Cam Ward.
Cam Ward, second year?
No, it's his first year. He was the number 1 overall draft pick. Remember, nobody thinks about him because it was the whole Shador drama during the draft. But yeah, he was the number 1 overall draft pick. Anyway, 49ers beat the hell out of Cam Ward and his team. And, dude, have you seen the highlights for this game?
No.
There are certain plays where Cam Ward is just, you know, dodging fools, running away, extending the play, breaking away from tackles to throw the ball at a wide-ass open wide receiver, and he drops it. Like right on the numbers and bloop. And for a first down, it's like, seriously? Can this kid get a one break? Just a little bit of a break. Yeah.
The guy's like, all right, listen, in my defense, I was sure somebody was going to tackle him. I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at the Jumbotron.
Oh, man. Jesus. It's one of those things that's like, of course, this is Cam Ward's career. Of course. Anyway, news from this game. One wide receiver, Ricky Pearsall, got injured. I believe it was an MCL. They're worried about a sprain, but they're hopeful that he'll be ready to play this weekend. Next, honestly, the most tense game of the entire weekend. The Indianapolis Colts visiting the Seattle Seahawks and just
Grandpa rides again.
Barely losing in a heartbreaker. Phillip Rivers coming into play after a 5-year hiatus and not embarrassing himself and not dying. Seriously, Phillip, mad respect, man. You were always one of my favorite players. You are now officially in the living legend, status. Cause holy fuck, that's crazy.
That man threw more touchdown passes than Joe Burrow this week.
Yeah, and Patrick Mahomes, if you think about it.
Yes.
Yeah, he's better than both of them combined.
And he was able to finish the game. Ooh, too soon?
Yeah, too soon. That game was crazy because he led a game-winning drive.
They were winning most of the game.
Yeah, he led to first off, he threw the only touchdown in the game against probably the best defense in the NFL in Seattle against the 12th man, and he led the team with a victory with 42 seconds to go. It's just the defense forgot to show up when it mattered the most. Now they showed up the entire fucking game and looked phenomenal, except those last 42 seconds. So it's unfortunate. It's a microcosm of Phillip Rivers' career.
And it's sort of an indictment on modern quarterbacks, which, like, seriously, like, this guy was able to come off the couch after 5 years and be able to actually
listen, man. No, it's
run an offense.
It's not a fair comparison, because Phillip Rivers, first off, he played with Sean Steichen was the quarterback's coach of the Chargers for a while. Shane Steichen, thank you. And Phillip Rivers played with the Colts for a season, so he knew the system. Also, a little, inside football that you get when you listen to Matt Money Smith. Apparently, Phillip Rivers is in regular communication with Shane Steichen because he runs his offense for his high school team. So they talk regularly. He knows the play. He knows all that stuff. So it's not like the issue was the body, not the brain. The brain was fine. And Shane Steichen was smart. He was like, all right, well, we know you're old and you probably can't take a hit like you did before. So we'll just give you easy plays. Yeah. So just hand off the ball or quick passes. That's pretty much what we need from you. As the game progressed, they gave him a little more. The passes were not great. You can tell that he doesn't have, the strength anymore. So I think, I don't know. I don't remember where I heard this, but basically, if there hadn't been just 4 games left in the season and you're fighting for your playoff lives, you probably would have gotten a younger QB, but you have time to adapt an offense to him or whatever, but you're in desperation mode. So you're like, all right, I'll go with the guy I know who at least knows the playbook so I don't have to change everything with 4 weeks left of the playoffs. And it's a fucking Hail Mary. Let's try it. If he's willing to do it, let's try it. And it almost worked. The crazy thing is that the Colts, their best defensive players are injured. So if the defense gets a little healthier, if DeForest Buckner comes back for their next game against the 49ers and they play like this and they just fuck around and win, they're still in contention for the AFC. They're still in contention for the playoffs. So the legend of one Phillip Rivers will just continue to rise. Also, his post-game press conference was, mwah, thing of beauty. Had my freaking wife crying. I was like, oh, it's so beautiful. Thinking about the kids and the example and not being afraid. Like, I love you, Phillip. You're too good. Anyway, Yeah.
Dead gummit.
God dang it. So let me see. Dude, Rivers haven't lost a step. Excuse Denver has the best defense in the NFL. First off, yes, Philip Rivers has lost a few steps. He doesn't listen. As somebody who has seen pretty much every single snap of his professional career, he used to throw way better balls. Now they weren't horrible balls, they weren't hospital balls, but he doesn't have that zip net. Also, in Philip Rivers'
He's never had legs.
In his defense, going up against, again, probably the best defense in the league. I don't care what Chuck Dominguez says. Well, we'll talk about that later. Probably against the best defense in the league, and he has zero chemistry or time on task with these wide receivers. He doesn't know their timings yet. They don't know all that stuff. So a lot of the passes that were just a little bit off, you're like, man, that they're lacking chemistry. He doesn't know their body language. He doesn't know all their stuff. So little things that you pick up, throwing the ball to a guy after seeing them run so many times. He doesn't have that. So maybe it's that, but we'll see. Hopefully he'll get better against the 49ers. And now the Denver Broncos having the best defense in the league. To me, it's between it's between Seahawks, Broncos, and Texans. Yeah. If I have to pick, the nastiest is the Texans because they hurt you. Like they just lay down the hurt. The Broncos started off hotter, but they've slowed down a bit in the last few games. I don't think their pass rush is as elite as it was earlier in the season. And the Seahawks, throughout the season, the games were over at halftime. Like the second half was just them, like chilling. So it's tough. I easily the best defense in the NFC is probably the Seahawks. Let's just leave it at that. AFC is still in debate. Next, Sunday Night Football, we have the Minnesota Vikings beating the Dallas Cowboys, and with that victory, they are officially eliminated from playoff contention. So congratulations, you went out with a victory. Yay!
And the Cowboys are
they have a 1% chance. They have a 1% chance of making the playoffs. They need a whole lot of stuff to happen. But I think they know that it's done. They know it's done. On the bright side for the Vikings, I mean, we knew that the last games of the season were just going to be evaluation for JJ McCarthy. He's played good in back-to-back games for the first time in his career. We'll see if he continues. So it's
gonna suck if we lose the 9 meme if he actually becomes good.
You know what?
I love that face.
You know what's actually really funny? Well, not funny. Not funny, haha. JJ McCarthy cannot get the ball to Justin Jefferson. Like, he looks great. His stats are phenomenal with everybody else except Justin Jefferson. It makes no fucking sense, but maybe they need to hang out more or something. I don't know. But they won.
When there's like that, those two people, you're like, man, they would make a great couple. Yes. And then they yes, it's perfect. They would be perfect for one another. But then they go out and it's like, there's no chemistry here.
Yep.
What's going on?
What can we call it? Let's call them
the Joey and Rachel phenomenon.
No, that's not good. That was bad writing. Let's call it the Ryan Atwood and Marissa.
I can't think of a better one.
Not off the top of your head. But anyway, let's continue. I was going to mention the Vampire Diaries one, but like, nah. Next, we have... I know you're going to make that face. Next, we have the final game of the week, Monday Night Football, the Miami Dolphins getting the asses beat by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers showing signs of life, maintaining control of the division. Aaron Rodgers scoring touchdowns. The defense looking okay against the Dolphins in the cold. Without TJ Watt because they punctured his lung for some reason. And they didn't.
Well, you know what? It ain't gonna get any warmer anytime soon, so that's good.
I mean, no. The issue for the Dolphins is that Tua can't play in the cold. Like, he just can't. I believe Tua has The Cold has a perfect record against Tua. You know, he just can't win, and can't win, can't play. I believe the first play of the fucking game was a pick.
Blood?
Yeah, so I don't know. Unfortunate, but whatever. At least the AFC North is still interesting, and it's possible, as things stand right now, that Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and Patrick Mahomes will not make the playoffs. So if freaking Josh Allen cannot go deep into the offseason with this field, eesh, Jesus Christ. Like, his biggest, the biggest QB competition that he has, you know, in terms of talent right now, is Justin Herbert with a broken hand and no O-line. Like, this has to be Josh Allen's year. What's up?
Well, I will say I'm not going to discount the Jags going deep in the playoffs as they are playing as of the past month.
Fair.
I don't know, maybe the Strouds, but I'm just going to say, all right, I see something in those cats.
By the way,
like, they different. Different.
Fun fact, you know, just for fun. Every single team in the AFC playoff picture beat the Chiefs this year.
That is fun.
Every single one. And I know the Broncos still have to play them, but I'm going to just call that a win right now. I doubt that one Gardner Minshew will be able to sneak one, but yeah, fun fact. So there you go. I think that's a good place to stop, right? Are you okay with that?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, I gotta go get my clothes from the dryer anyway.
All right. As always, comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at DarioSDW and at Super Dario World. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. It really helps me out. I'm not sure how the next weeks are gonna work because I am going to be moving soon, so I'm not really even sure if I'll have I need to tear this thing down, and it's gonna take a minute.
Maybe we can record here.
Maybe. Well, we need to have a conversation. But anyway, I just wanted to give people a heads up. As always, thanks for joining me, and we'll see you again next time.